All right, can you see me, hear me? Who is on with me? Nicole says, happy birthday. What's up, Nicole? Thank you so much. Reach out, we've got to connect. Let's see, what did I do with my marker here? Excited to be on here, guys. Let me just duck down to my computer here and share and make sure we've got the word out that I'm going live at 2 o'clock. And then we're gonna rock and roll and talk Facebook ads. Pretty fired up. Love talking Facebook ads. One of the fastest ways for you to get results in your business. So I've got some good tips for you today. Just got to get this out and shared. Give me 2 seconds here. Who else is jumping on with us, guys? Give a shout if you are on Periscope. Let me see some hearts. If you're on Facebook, drop a comment. Leave me a comment for sure. Let me know you're here with us. Okay. Cool. Well, ready to rock and roll. I saw one happy birthday on there. Appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, today is my birthday, but it is also Wednesday at 2, so we do a weekly live stream. All right. Every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, I do a weekly live stream. You can find all the details at justiceegan.com/live. Okay, that's where all the previous episodes are, the archives, upcoming stuff, upcoming live events, all that cool stuff. So, today I want to talk to you about Facebook ads. Hands down, one of my favorite ways to market. Okay, just coming off an affiliate launch, and let me just pull something up here. Give me 2 seconds. Just coming off an affiliate launch where, I did, what did I do with that? Sorry, guys. Well, drop me a comment if you do Facebook ads. If you've ever done Facebook ads, drop me a comment over there in the comment box, and let me know who's on with us. So, a couple of things. I'm just coming off an affiliate launch, as I mentioned, with Facebook that I used Facebook ads in a lot. Definitely my, YouTube is where I started. I really, really value Facebook paid ads, the ability to turn traffic on, the ability to kind of really define who I'm targeting, and the ability to scale something, right? And that's what happened. I mean, I want to say, a $1,500, $1,600 investment recently in this last launch pulled in over $5,000 in commissions. And, it was done just by dialing an ad in with copywriting, testing different audiences. And then once finding ads that were dialed in, putting my foot on the gas. And seriously, if scaling too quickly wasn't a red flag for Facebook, I would have spent more, right? I just didn't, you want to protect your ads account, and scaling quickly is something that, if you scale up too quickly, you can get yourself in a little hot water with Facebook. Some of you probably know that, Facebook has been taking accounts away, for violation of policy, right? But, being very, very strict of late when it comes to how they handle, reviewing people's accounts and either shutting them down or letting them move forward with advertising. So, couple of reasons why I want to talk Facebook ads today. And again, if you're just jumping on, let us know you're on here with us. Would love to know who's on with us. Couple of reasons why I love Facebook ads is they are incredibly, incredibly targeted. Okay, one thing you got to understand is that Facebook knows just about everything about you at this point. I mean, it's insane. They go out there, they buy up data, they match it up with your profiles. They pay so much attention to, what you're clicking, what you're watching, what pages you like, what you engage with. So when you get inside the Facebook Ads Manager, you can put your perfect message in front of the perfect person. And I think that a lot of times people don't think outside the box enough when it comes to this stuff. I've talked to a lot of people about their ads and said, well, who are you targeting? How are you going after things? And it's very one-track mind. It's very, well, I'm targeting this, obviously, right? And the reality is there are so many different ways to break people down based on, I think, what's referred to as psychographics, right? Like, different behaviors, different interests that are outside of what you would think of initially. Right? The people that you want to get your perfect message in front of, there are a lot of different commonalities they have. There's a lot of different ways in which you can identify them that are outside of, the initial thing you'd think of, right? Like every time I talk to network marketers and they're targeting people who, who like they're trying to target people in the network marketing niche, they're always targeting Eric Worre, a network marketing pro, right? It's like, that's the standard. Everybody's like, oh, well, I targeted network marketing pro. And it's like, there's so many different ways in which we could get in front of that audience, so many different areas where we could find points of commonality, behavioral things, interest things that are outside of what comes to mind that could get us in front of the right person. And what we really need to do is we need to get out there, and sometimes we need to cast a wider net. Sometimes we need to, pay to gather some intel, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, in sharing some tips on how to get better results with your Facebook paid advertising. But, one of the other reasons, if you're on here and you haven't done them yet, one of the other reasons is one, they're inexpensive. Really, you can, just a few dollars a day, you can be out there advertising. But two, it's scalable. When I got started, I focused entirely on free strategies. I leveraged YouTube all the time. And, what I found is that as great as it was, there's only so many videos you can make in a day, right? Whereas when I get something dialed in, I want to be able to pour gasoline on that fire, and paid advertising is scalable. And Facebook paid advertising is the most powerful paid advertising platform on the planet, plain and simple, in the history of man, right? And it keeps getting better. So keep that in mind. Don't shy away from paid advertising like I did when I got started. I saw it as an expense. Really see it as an investment in your business. It's an incredible way to drive traffic and get leads. Guys, if you're just jumping on, we're going to talk some tips to get you better results in paid advertising. Justice Egan here. This is a show now, 21st Century, sponsoring live that I do every Wednesday at 2 p.m. You can get all the details up here at justiceegan.com/live. Opportunity to see some previous content, previous episodes, all the archives. You can actually go here and submit questions that you have. If you want me to talk about certain things on here, you can subscribe for updates, all that good stuff. So definitely subscribe via the button or via over here on Periscope. And definitely like and share, guys. I want to see who's on with us. I know I see that the numbers are starting to go up here, but I want to see who's joining us today and give you a shout out. So, paid ads. If you're doing paid ads, definitely let me know if you've done paid ads. If you've never done paid ads, drop a comment in there, let me know. Couple big mistakes I see people make all the time. One is that people, when they're doing paid ads, and I see some hearts coming up over here on Periscope, appreciate it. When you're doing paid ads, you've got to be patient. I think that there's this mentality of, well, I'm making an investment and I need to see a return on that investment immediately. Understand that sometimes that return you're getting is experience, right? Sometimes it's you learning. Sometimes it's you making mistakes. It's you growing. It's you getting feedback from things that you're doing wrong. That's a price you have to pay. You're going to have to pay that price in some capacity no matter what. Right? Everything has a cost, time or money. Time or money. There's no doubt about it. And there's a growth process that has to take place here where you have to develop skills. And that's going to cost, if you're going to do paid advertising, it's going to cost you money. Does it have to cost a lot? It doesn't. It doesn't have to cost a lot at all, okay? But, go into understanding that at least. Go into it, so bringing a level of patience to the table. The other thing that I see people kind of get wrong is, no matter what your marketing strategy, and Facebook ads are no different, you've got to go in willing to develop a skill. You've got to go in with this I will until attitude where you're going to say, hey, listen, if I don't get it right now, that's cool. If I don't understand it right now, that's cool. If I don't get results right away, that's cool. But I am going to figure this out, okay? I'm going to do it until. It's amazing, and I was having this conversation last night after I had a little meeting with a small business owner yesterday. It is amazing how many people will look straight at something that the marketplace says works, right? Social media in general for business, right? Using social media for business. And so many business owners, so many people will look at this and say, well, it won't work for me, or it doesn't work for me, or how do I know it's going to work for me? There's just such this resistance to the idea that I'm different, right? My business might be different. Go into this knowing if you're going to go in and advertise on Facebook, know that Facebook advertising works. Plain and simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not something you have to figure out. The jury is not still out on this one. People like a lot of times I see go in with a mentality of, well, I'm going to see how it works. Well, it works. It already works, right? So what you got to go into it saying is I'm going to figure this out. right? If it's not working for me right away, it means somebody else is doing something I'm not doing. They know something I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. You know, I'm not like something's incomplete here. And if you go in that way and understand that, you know, your job is to figure out what that missing piece is and to just keep fixing and refining until you have it right, then you're going to develop a really, really valuable skill. Go into it any other way and expect to come out disappointed. It really is that simple. So if that makes sense to you, give me some hearts over here, drop a comment over there. Guys, let me know if that makes sense, if that is valuable to you for going in when it comes to going into Facebook paid ads. Now, I want to give you some tips to help you get better results. And something you got to understand is what I mean by results is a very vague term, right? But results for me, results for you, it really depends on what you're looking to get out of it. And that's really kind of the first thing is you've got to go in with a plan. You've got to go in knowing what you're looking to gain, right? At the end of the day, we all want sales, but there's a process that goes into sales, okay? Sales it's not just like I run the ad, sale comes. It can be that way. But a lot of times we have to warm up that prospect first. We have to build a relationship. There's a level of familiarity that has to exist. Okay, we have to have communicated or touched that prospect in some capacity previous to, you know, making the sale, previous to making the pitch. So go in knowing what you want to get out. You know, I think a lot of times I see plans hold people back. Like, I'm not a huge planning guy. Okay, I always tell people, like, just listen, just get out there in the marketplace. But when it comes to advertising, okay, when it comes to, you know, putting a campaign together and investing money in traffic, you know, I think you have to start with at least a very basic plan, a very basic understanding of what your objective is. And what's so cool about Facebook is that you choose your ad based on objective. Okay, so understand what your objective is and understand what that objective is worth to you. Not all leads are created equal. Not all visitors are created equal. Not all traffic is created equal. If you're running a law firm, okay, a lead to you might be worth more than if you're running a local landscaping business and cutting grass. Okay, you're not going to pay the same for a lead. So when I have people come to me, when I have people ask, well, what should I be paying for a lead? It so depends. What does your, you know, what kind of conversion rate are you getting? How often is a lead turning into a sale? What's a sale worth to you? What's the long-term or lifetime value of that person, at least estimated, right? What does it mean to get someone on your list? What does it mean to you long-term to have a fan? See, you have to go in understanding what that's worth to you, or at least put a figure of some sort on it ahead of time. Again, or you're going to come away disappointed, or you're going to spend blindly, right? I see people get excited too when they're doing paid ads that they'll get some sort of result, even though they don't know what that result's worth to them, and so they'll just throw more money at it, more money at it, more money at it to create more of that result. But all of a sudden, after they're outspent, right? After they're spent out, they stop and go, well, but it didn't really do anything for me. So understand. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to get likes? Do you want visitors? Do you want people to convert into leads? Are you looking to convert these people into sales immediately, right? Or down the road, right? Understand what that objective, that action, the success of that ad is worth to you, or at least have a ballpark figure on it going into it so that you can stop and say, hey, I should keep moving forward this way, or I've got to fix and refine. Be willing when you're going into your advertising, be willing to pay for intel and experience, okay? Put a value on that. In other words, you know, sometimes I've got to spend to gather information to then put a great campaign together. Or sometimes I've got to spend to learn what doesn't work so that later I'm dialed into what works. There's value in that. And I just feel like so few people see that. And, you know, you have to be willing. You have to see value in the mistake. You have to see value in the ads that don't work, just like there's value in the ads that do. Does that make sense to you guys? Give me a hit. Let me see some hearts over here on Periscope if that makes sense. Can you see the kind of shift that needs to take place there? Like, hey, you know, that ad was a flop. Well, there's value in that. You just have to find the value. It's your job to extract the value from that ad campaign that was a total disaster, right? And I mean, I have ad campaigns that are disasters all the time, but I learn from that. I mean, that's what gives me the ability to fix and refine. So let me see what kind of action we're getting over here. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about here, and this is probably one of the biggest things you can take away from this, is understanding your audience, okay, who your target audience is, how you want to find them on Facebook, and understanding something I talk to students a lot, something I talked about in our challenge, talked to with my coaching clients when we're talking about advertising, is understanding what I call like the Facebook traffic spectrum, okay? And we'll see. I've got some pretty weak dry erase markers here, but we'll see if we can go over this here. Let me see how much time I have. I think there's kind of a limit over here on Facebook, so we'll try and keep this under control. So obviously, guys, there's all different kinds of traffic, right? And we've got hot traffic over here. Who's hot traffic? Hot traffic is people that really know who you are, okay? They're people that that are familiar with you, that know, like, trust you. Maybe they've been on your list for a while, or maybe they're familiar with your marketing. Maybe they've purchased something before, right? And then cold traffic is not the coldest end of the spectrum. Is not just people that don't know you, but it's people that don't care, right? All the way down this end of the spectrum is people that that really just have no interest in what it is that you have to offer, what it is you have to say, which is okay. This is going to be most of the people on the planet. You only need a few, right? It doesn't take a lot. And I like to split this down the middle. And basically, over here, and for those of you who are familiar with Facebook ads, you'll understand this. Over here, we've got the targeted. We'll say targeted. I hope you like my writing. Interest behaviors. Okay, now these are the most targeted, people that might be familiar with you. And I'll give you an example of this. I'm pretty active in the My Lead System Pro community. I've got a lot of exposure from the My Lead System Pro community. So if I put an ad out in front of My Lead System Pro, they're not just a targeted interest. There's a chance some of those people are going to already know who I am. Okay, so that's like my most targeted, group right there, like groups like that, and there are a few of them. Then, we've got interests and behaviors that I think, that I'm going to test, that may show promise, right? Where people might say, hey, this message is spot on. And I mean, Facebook, you can go in there, you can target based on income, based on purchase behaviors, based on how many kids somebody has, based on the types of videos they watch, the fan pages they interact with. It's endless, okay? You can layer people in so many different variations. This is nothing more than one big test, constantly. It is nothing more than one big test, but it's an educated test. You can start from a very educated place and then you go from there, right? You have info to start with. And then over here, we really are talking, everybody from here over is really cold, okay? Now over here, and this could go in a few different ways, I'm gonna say we've got our fans, right? So from here over, the people who already know us. We've got our fans, which are, people that have already liked our fan page. There's a pretty good chance they're familiar with us. Even though organically they don't see a lot of our stuff, we want to run advertisements directly to our fans. We've got people who are on our list. All right, we can upload our list and create audiences that are people who are already on our email list. And we've got, actually, I would say people on our list might be here, right? And then people who have visited our website. And depending on how hot these people are, I mean, these could be switched around here. But we've got fans, website visitors, and our list. And those are the people, these are the people that are more likely to take actions like opting in, like buying something. They're more likely to share your stuff. They're more likely to engage. Anybody who knows you is more likely to be, to convert whatever the objective is in that Facebook ad. So our goal is really to identify people that are likely interested in what we have to say and move these people from this side of the spectrum to that side of the spectrum. And the way we do that is by pushing content and non-solicitation type posts and likes campaigns, okay, to this side. So you might find a group of people that you think would really have an interest in your message and your product and your service. You push a piece of content in front of them, maybe they become a website visitor. Okay, you push a post in front of them, maybe they become a fan. Right? A likes campaign, maybe they become a fan, moves them from over here to over here. Maybe they land on your content and they opt in and they land on your list from over here to over here. And once these people have been moved over, once they're familiar with us, then we have a good chance of being able to solicit an opt-in from them, a sale from them, something like that. So being that you can see all the different variations, the different ways in which you can communicate, it takes a little time and a little thought to understand what you're willing to pay for each action and what the long-term value of that action is for you, right? So, always look at this big picture. If you're pulling fans over, if you're pulling opt-ins over, understand that those people may purchase later. And there's some simple math equations you can do once you have enough information that you can start to figure out what kind of a lifetime value of a customer is. But does this make sense to you, guys? Give me some hearts over here, or drop a comment over on Facebook if this makes sense. Let me know. Let me know if this is sinking in. And if you have questions, don't hesitate. Let me get rid of that there. So once, guys, and the only real way, if you're new to Facebook ads, the only real way to get started is to get in there and run one. Okay. I can't break everything down for you. I want to kind of show you the potential today, give you some tips that'll help you set the proper expectations going into it, so you don't just go in there and go, oh, well, it doesn't work for me. I tried that. How many times I hear that? It's crazy. Remember, it works. Okay, this is one of the best, most targeted advertising platforms on the planet. It works. It's just a matter of whether you're going to make it work for you. The couple of closing thoughts here as we hit the time limit, and I will start to on this show. I'll start to do an after show of some sort here. I got to figure out the best way to do that. But the biggest thing I can tell you is to test. Okay, to test pictures against each other, test headlines against each other, and again, be willing to spend to gather that information to get it right. All right, move into this, move forward into this with clarity. Move into it with like test with purpose, advertise with purpose. A lot of people that get frustrated with advertising, they go in, they throw money at it. They try a certain type of ad, or they try to promote one type of thing. They throw some bucks at it, doesn't work. Then they go wing it on something else. You have to look at this like you're developing a skill. You have to look at it like you're dialing something in. All right, you're in the lab, crunching the numbers, testing A against B and B against C, and you're dialing it in. And, when you take that approach, so in other words, if you go out there and let's say you want to run a likes campaign to get more likes, and that's your first ever ad, here's what I'm going to tell you. Focus on likes campaigns for a while until you really understand them. Focus on placement, focus on pictures, focus on the copy, right? Focus on getting that right, rather than throwing, 50, 100 or more at a likes campaign and then turning around and going, let me try one of these other ones because the likes campaign didn't get me likes at the price I wanted. Well, of course it didn't. You haven't spent the time developing the skill or dialing it in, right? So really be focused, move with purpose, okay? Make decisions with purpose. Don't wing it, okay? Advertising is not a place to wing it. It's a place for you to test. It's a place for you to be very calculated in your decision. So hope that helps, guys. I would love to know what you want to learn about. This is the place to go to let me know. Go up to justiceegan.com/live. There's a question submission form there where you can tell me what it is that you want to learn so that I can, cater the content of this Wednesday live stream to you. But unless you have any questions, that's everything for today. I would love to see you guys over here. Give me some feedback as to what you'd like to learn. And again, over there, you can grab any of the archives and see some of the stuff we've covered in the past. So appreciate the hearts over here on Periscope, guys. Not sure who's on with us on Periscope, but I see all the different colored hearts coming up. And over here on Facebook, guys, same thing. Appreciate you guys, and I'll be talking to you very, very soon.